In this video, we're going to look at 4 ways that you can prevent yourself getting smished. But before we begin, I should probably explain what smishing is. Now, if you're new here, my name is Jonathan Edwards and I'm a business IT consultant from the UK. We look after businesses of all shapes and sizes. We help with IT support and cybersecurity. Hopefully, if you're a regular watcher of my YouTube channel, you will know exactly what phishing is and how you can prevent yourself being a victim of this nasty crime using my very own DAC method. But if that wasn't enough, there's now a new term and a new threat to deal with, and that is called smishing. And as you might have already guessed, it's very similar to phishing. So first, let's familiarise ourselves with what phishing is. It's when a scammer or a cyber criminal will send you an email enticing you to click on a link or download an attachment. When you click on that link, they'll want you to enter some kind of personal information, maybe a username, a password, or maybe even your credit card information. When you download the link, it might infect your computer with something nasty. The purpose of a phishing attack is quite simple. They want to get some of your personal information to try and steal money from you or your business. So that's phishing. But what is smishing? Well, it's the same principle as phishing, but smishing involves text messages. So cyber criminals will send you a text message and it will have a link to click on, again, to enter some kind of personal information or to download some malware onto your smartphone. There's been a huge rise in the reports of smishing over the last couple of years. So why the sudden rise? Well, the answer is all in the numbers. 98% of text messages are read and 45% of text messages are responded to. Now let's compare those stats to email. With email, only 20% of emails are actually opened. I think people are quite good at spotting what's genuine and what isn't. So that makes phishing attacks via email quite low performing. Whereas with smishing, cyber criminals are having a lot of success. I know personally I've had a lot of phishing attempts on my smartphone, particularly in the last 12 to 18 months. A lot of that is due to COVID. Where there's a weakness, cyber criminals usually take full example. Let's have a look at this smishing example that I received. Now, who wouldn't want to click on that link? The government in the UK were giving away a lot of money to support people and businesses during the COVID outbreak. And I've just got a text message saying that if I click on a link, I can claim hundreds of pounds. It's really, really enticing. Now you know what smishing is, let's have a look at 4 ways that you can prevent yourself being a smishing victim. Now, unfortunately, there's not an awful lot you can do about receiving these text messages, but there are some things that you can do once you've received them. Let's have a look at the first tip. Now, my first tip is simply to take a few breaths and not click on a link. These text messages are designed to entice us to click on a link and fast. But often, if we just take a few seconds and look closely at the text message, the fact that it's a scam will jump out at us. So let's take our time and look at this text message again. If we look at the domain part of this message, it is relieve.com. Now, if we go to our computers and open Google Chrome and go to relieve.com, it takes us to this website. Now, this doesn't look like the UK government who want to give us over £200. So with this simple bit of work, we now know that this is a scam. Now, if you're watching this video after clicking on a link, then you must act fast. If you've entered any usernames or passwords for any cloud applications, then you must change those immediately. If you've entered any bank details, then you must contact your bank, tell them what's happened, and take the advice from them. My second tip is not to reply to any of these text messages. Sometimes at the bottom of these text messages, it might say something like, if you don't want to receive these messages, text stop. You must not do that because it might result in you getting even more text messages. Sometimes these scammers will not know which mobile numbers are live or not. So if you text back saying stop, well, you've just let the scammer know that yours is an active mobile. Now you've got to use some common sense here. Some businesses use text messages as a genuine form of marketing, and you might want to receive these messages. Now, if you recognize the company, you understand that it is from them, then it's okay to text stop to these people if you don't want to receive them anymore. Now, my third tip is a little bit old school, and that is to phone the company who has just sent you a text message. Now, don't use the phone number on the text message because you might be ringing the scammer directly, but Google the company, give them a call and ask them if they've just sent you a text message. Now, this is just a case of, again, taking your time, being a little more proactive and not reactive, not reacting to that text message straight away. Just take your time. Now, my fourth and final tip is to not install any apps on your phone. Now, hands up, who thought your smartphone couldn't get malware? I knew it. That is a popular misconception. Smartphones can get malware. You might get a text message asking you to download an app onto your smartphone. The same thing happens with phishing, where people send attachments. Once you click on that attachment, it infects your computer with malware. The same thing can happen with your smartphone. And once that malware is on your smartphone, people can move on to the next stage. They can steal money, make purchases, or even remove data from your smartphone. You must always only install apps from the App Store or the Google Store. So how do you know if your phone could be infected? Well, there could be high memory usage. Your phone could overheat. Your battery might drain faster than usual. Or you might get pop-up messages when you're using the internet on your phone. If you think your phone is infected, the best thing is to make sure you've got a backup of your photos and your data and just completely wipe the phone. So that's it, my 4 tips on preventing you being a smishing attack victim. When it comes to cybercrime, there's always going to be new threats and we've got to stay ahead of the game. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you again soon.